Hi there, welcome back. Just a little reminder about a parenting workshop that I am hosting very soon. Actually, it's a two-part series. A video will be sent to all who are registered on Wednesday, January 1st, the first day of the new year. And then that Sunday, the following Sunday, January 5th, is a Q&A. So basically, you will get a video where I cover some topics that I am presented with often, either from clients or my audience, and I've kind of taken documentation of that. So I cover some of those things in the original video that comes out, and then you'll have an opportunity to meet me for the Q&A. But I want to talk about a couple different things today. Something came up recently when we were watching our grandchildren, which Paul and I watch our grandchildren every other Friday. It used to be every Friday, but because of a daycare opening that came available that my daughters didn't want to miss out on in case they needed it, they took that spot. So typically every other Friday, we have at least two of the grandchildren, sometimes three. And I love it. It's creating wonderful memories for the kids. And then, as you know, we have family dinner that evening as well. So I just love it. I think everyone in the family does. And I just love that the grandkids can be together with their cousins and they can build these wonderful memories, because before you know it, they're going to be in school and they won't have as many opportunities. But Junie, our 3-year-old granddaughter, she really likes to play games now. So a couple of games that I have handy is Chutes and Ladders and Candyland. And we will play these games with her once in a while, and she's really picking up on it as she should. I believe those games are for ages 3 and up. But, often it's really easy to let her win, right? They're little, so it's not uncommon for us to let them win. But are we doing what's really best for them, right? I mean, we have to ask ourselves, especially in our situation, considering that in a couple of years, other grandkids are going to be playing these games and not everyone can win. Well, we recently had the grandkids, and Poppy was playing Chutes and Ladders with June, and he happened to win. He happened to win. And you could see the little lip go out. You know the one? the little pucker, the little lip. And June was disappointed. She was disappointed that she didn't win. And maybe shame on us that a lot of times we finagle it that she does. But it was such a great opportunity for us to have a conversation with her. She clearly was disappointed that she didn't win, and she was hurt, and that little lip did go out, and she was starting to kind of inch her way into maybe starting to cry. And Poppy explained to her that we don't always win and that other people win at times. And this really prompted me to sit down and actually have a conversation with her and explain to her that it is perfectly acceptable to be disappointed when we don't win, or we don't get invited, or we don't get the prize. There's nothing wrong with being disappointed that it wasn't you. That it was someone else. And I think it's really important for us to convey that message, that it is okay to feel what you're feeling. After all, we adults feel the same way. If you apply for a position, a job, and let's say you get called for an interview, but then you don't end up getting the job, someone else does. It's okay to be disappointed that you weren't the one chosen for that role. But what we explained to her, or I should say I explained to her, is that we can actually be disappointed and be happy for someone else at the same time, that we can actually feel both of those emotions. And we talked about it, and it was just really nice. Believe it or not, you can have these conversations with a 3-year-old. They're a sponge. They pick up on things much easier than we do. So what a perfect time to talk to them in a language that they can understand. But the sweet part is when I got done talking to June and she was okay, and she looked over and she said, "Poppy, I'm happy for you." And it was just such a sweet and touching moment. I'm sharing this because a topic like this is something that we will cover if it's brought up in the parenting workshop. You have maybe children with siblings, right? It's important that our kids learn at a very early age that we aren't always going to win. We aren't always going to get chosen. We aren't always going to get the job later in life. We aren't always going to get the partner. And it's important that we teach our children when they're young that that is part of life, and that will help them later on in life. So while it's nice when they're little to let them kind of slide up the chutes and ladders or whatever, and when we have to recognize that there comes a time where we also need to explain to them that you don't always win, and that you can be disappointed when you don't, and you can be happy for someone else at the same time. So I share this today because I want to encourage you, if you are looking for other little nuggets, or just, sharing a situation and not sure how you should handle it with children. I will be covering whatever topic you would like in the parenting workshop. Again, that first video will have a lot of great nuggets. I've been putting some teasers out on social media. But anything that you want to bring to the Q&A on Sunday, January 5th, a few days after the initial video goes out, there's really nothing that's on the table. And I'm going to be very eager to share some of the things that I did raising my daughters, Paul and I did together, that I would do differently. And I am doing differently in my grandparenting. Parenting is very generational. I know that how I was raised and some of the disciplines or practices that my parents implemented, I don't believe maybe serve us all today. There's certain takeaways that I think can strengthen, but I believe that sometimes whatever the parenting style is, it may not be in the child's best interest. When I was growing up, tough love, talking to you in more of a belittling or condescending way is going to make you work harder. It's going to make you be stronger. It's going to make you be better. But I work with a lot of clients that are baby boomers or Gen X like I am. And I can see a lot of lower T traumas, past wounds and scars that often stem right from upbringing, right from childhood, and some of those messages that we interpreted a certain way. So understand that parenting is generational. So that, of course, means that if I could go back, there's some things that I would do differently. There's some things that I recognize that probably wasn't in my girls' best interest. Maybe just the message that we put out and how they interpreted it. So I encourage you to consider the parenting workshop. This is for all stages of parenting, whether you haven't even started having children and you want to just hear some skills that I used and maybe other people that are taking the workshop can share. If you're just looking for some insight, if you have little ones and you just want to strengthen that parenting muscle or be prepared for some of the more challenging and difficult years, because they will come, and I believe what you do early on will play a significant role later on. Even if you have older children and you just want to get some insight, it's for everyone that's in a parenting season, regardless of what age your children are. So in the description box will be a link to tap on to get more information and to get registered. And again, the initial video will go out Wednesday, January 1st, 2025. The first day of the new year, and then that following Sunday will be the live Q&A. After the workshop, it will be on the workshops and replay tab. So if you miss the initial round, you will be able to still take advantage of it whenever you would like. Hope to see you there. Thanks for being here.